And welcome back to another episode of Off Script. And wow, what an incredible week one. So many great games. It was almost overstimulating. I mean, we had football on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I mean, just shoved in your face. So if you were ready for college football, you got your intake for sure. Moving right into week two here. We got a big game here. Michigan and Oklahoma. Starting off with Michigan. Week one takeaways, they played New Mexico, so it's hard to kind of get a full grasp of how this team really looks. But starting off with Bryce Underwood here, 21-31, 251 yards, 1 touchdown. The kid looked great. I'm an Ohio State guy, but I got to give credit where credit's due. This kid's legit. All right, this kid, he looked really good, man. He looked really good. He has a cannon for an arm. And the one thing that's really impressed me, a lot of these freshman quarterbacks, when they're kind of just learning and just playing now, they look a little hesitant when they're throwing. Like if you look at Arch Manning, and no shot at him, but he kind of looked a little hesitant when he was throwing against Ohio State. Just didn't look it didn't look right. This Underwood kid, let me tell you, he steps into those throws. I mean, he goes downfield. He is not afraid to just sling the ball. I noticed a lot of rollouts with him. They like to get him out of the pocket. I will say the accuracy was a little inconsistent when he rolled out left. When he's flipping his hips, he was trying to sail the ball to him. He was almost aiming it rather than just throwing it. That is one thing to look out for in this game. And another thing I noticed was a lot of short throws. And granted, it was the first game. You're trying to kind of get your freshman quarterback to settle in there. But a lot of short throws to the tight ends, just bubble passes outside to the receivers. They looked good. Their gain is 7-8 yards right there. Those are chunk plays over time that are going to drive you down the field. My overall opinion on him for this game, I think there needs to be a little bit better decision making, throwing the ball away, not taking the sack. If he can do that in this game and handle the noise from Sooner Nation, I think they have a recipe to win this game. Moving on to the running back, this kid looked phenomenal. Justice Haynes. He's a hard runner, man. He's a north and south, just run it down your throat. I don't have the exact stats on me right now, but he had 3 tutties. I think he was rushing for like 160 yards on the ground for game one. Very impressive. He was very shifty too. He's great vision. Down by the red zone, there was one play they were going right, and then I think the defensive line basically just stopped him right at like the 5 or something like that. And then he just ran right back around. Bryce Underwood even, threw his shoulder in there to block, which I love, by the way. I mean, that's Grady football right there out of the quarterback. But kid's got great vision as a running back, and I think he's going to be a phenomenal player this season. And one of my big keys for Michigan in this game is just establishing the run game. Obviously, we know Michigan's bread and butter for the past few seasons has been just running the ball down your throat and just gritty, grimy football. I feel like if they can run the ball in this game and take pressure off this young quarterback, Underwood, I think that is a recipe for success. And like I said, a recipe to win this game on a very hostile environment in Norman. And I also do want to talk about Marlon Klein and Max Bredesen. These guys are kind of like the heart and soul of this Michigan offense, the tight end and fullback kind of dynamic duo of this offense. They're more targeted than the actual receivers so far, of what I've watched on film. I mean, these guys get open. The key for them in this game is just the blocking. They just got to stay on the blocks and then reaching the second level to this Oklahoma secondary. If they can do that, this might be a really good day for them. I also want to talk about this Michigan defense. Very talented D-line led by Derek Moore. Kind of the strength of the defense. Kind of everything runs through them. Veteran linebackers as well. Jayshon Barham's going to be out for the first half due to an absolute abysmal targeting call. I mean, was it targeting? Yes. Should they have called it? Probably not. I mean, it was a good hit. And then they have a pretty stellar secondary. So this is a great defense. They got a very, very solid Michigan defense here. They lost a lot of talent this past year to the NFL draft. So this team's kind of trying to find their identity a little bit, this defense. I'm excited to see if they can, handle this air raid offense with John Mateer and then pressure this kind of relatively new O-line on the Oklahoma side. And like I said, the biggest thing for this defense is just getting the pressure on John Mateer, getting him to try to improvise, because then he'll make mistakes, and then you're set up for success. And my overall keys to victory for Michigan in this is, first thing, I already said it, establishing the run game. I mean, Justice Haynes needs to have himself a good day. So does this Michigan O-line. I mean, this is kind of a defining moment for this season. And if they can get this done against an SEC, a very talented SEC opponent and SEC defense, they should feel really good about themselves. Another thing was taking the pressure off Bryce Underwood. These small throws, these bubble screens, getting, 6-7 yards, and then all of a sudden you throw it down to a tight end for a gain of 20 or something. Kind of takes the pressure off Bryce, gives him some confidence. Recipe for success right there. And then lastly is just defensive pressure. Like I said, getting to John Mateer, making him improvise, make him make mistakes, and then limiting shot plays. These receivers are talented on the other side. This tight end is pretty talented. Just limiting shot plays as much as you can, making them earn yards. That's probably the biggest thing for Michigan in this game, and I think they can get it done. And moving on here, let's talk about Oklahoma. Week 1 takeaways against Illinois State, and yes, it was Illinois State, but it was still an impressive win. They looked really good. John Mateer, dude plays with a ton of swagger, a lot of moxie. He looks really good. He threw for 392 yards, 3 tutties, 1 pick, but he went 30 for 37. It's a good day at the office for the kid right there. He looked very comfortable in my opinion. Just looked really good in the pocket. Found open receivers all day. That's all he was doing. He was just dishing it out. And then looking back at the film, he was a great improviser. I understand it's Illinois State. I do. But he was making people miss. He was juking. He was scrambling. He was lowering that shoulder for the first down. As a player, I want to be on his team. I want to play for that guy. I want to win with this guy. But I do feel like this is going to be a problem for the Michigan secondary, just slowing him down, especially if you can find open receivers downfield and just finding that green grass. It's going to be an issue. And moving on to the wide receivers and tight ends for Oklahoma, Burks and Lewis looked fast. They came off the line. They looked good, man. They looked smooth in their routes. And another thing, they made a ton of contested catches, which is huge. You look back at last year, Oklahoma receiving corps, riddled with injuries, by the way. This is a completely different receiver corps. They brought some transfers in, but wow, they look good, man. And then the tight end, Canuck, he was targeted a fair amount. He looked good, and then just feeding him seam routes. That's all it was. I feel like these skill guys did a great job of finding the gaps in the defense, getting to green grass, and then yards after catch, too. That was incredible in this game for them. And if they can do it in this game and on Saturday, I think it'll be a great day for the Sooners offense. My big question here is running back Jaden Ott, number 1 running back in the transfer portal from Cal. Limited last game. I think he had 1 carry for like -3 yards, dealing with like a shoulder thing. So it would be great to see him out there because I do believe there is a lot of potential there, and he could be great for them. So excited to see what he can do. Moving on to this Oklahoma defense, Coach Venables, defensive-minded coach, DC at Clemson a couple years ago, now the head coach at Oklahoma. They got some guys, for sure. They got some guys. Last year they allowed 318 yards per game, which is astounding. They lost some key talent, notably Danny Stutzman, who was kind of the heart and soul of that defense last year. But they returned 8 starters, so definitely some veteran guys coming back. I'm excited to see if they can handle this new Michigan offense with Bryce Underwood. In this past game, they looked really physical. They played with a lot of passion, a lot just flying around, making plays, not even thinking. That's what you want out of a defense for sure. Brent Venables probably, again, on a hot streak here. So I'm excited to see what they can do against this Bryce Underwood offense. Keys for them, they got to feed off this stadium pulse. I mean, it's going to be bumping in there for sure. And I'll get you video firsthand. I'm heading there this weekend, so I'm excited to see that. And then making Bryce Underwood uncomfortable. Freshman quarterback going in on the road, kind of first real test. What does he have? Let's see what he can do. But the Sooners defense needs to pressure him if they want to be successful. The keys to this game for this Oklahoma team. Number 1, the O-line needs to hold up against this talented Michigan defensive pressure. That's just, it needs to happen. This is a young O-line, kind of an inexperienced group. So can they hold up? Possibly. We'll see. But I'm excited to see if they can. Didn't look too great against Illinois State. There's definitely potential to be good. But this is a big test for them. I'm excited to see what they do. Second thing, skill needs to make plays. I know they did against Illinois State. They just need to get open. They just need to take what they can get. It's not always, the shot play is not always going to be there. They need to understand that. So just gradually getting yards over time. And then another thing, ball security. That seemed like a little bit of an issue. Holding ball, just not getting turnovers that you can control, that's big. And then lastly, the defense just needs to contain Bryce Underwood. This kid can run. We didn't see it too much in their game against New Mexico. I think they were kind of just holding out on it, but they need to contain him, keep him in the pocket, because once he gets outside, he's a threat. Like, it's dangerous out there. But if they can do that, I think it's a good day for the Sooners. But with that being said, I thought long and hard about this. I really did. I'm an Ohio State guy, like I said earlier. Also a Big Ten guy, so I'm going to have to go. I'm thinking very tight game here. I'm going 38-31, and I can't believe I'm holding this thing right now, but 38-31, Michigan. I just think this Michigan offense is finally going to gel together against here. This is kind of the start of the legacy of Bryce Underwood. I'm really excited to see what he can do. I do think Justice Haynes is also going to have himself a field day against this Oklahoma defense, and I think they're just going to overwhelm him. So I got Michigan in this one, but make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's a bold take here, but, Ohio State fans, bear with me. I'm a Big Ten guy too. So, subscribe, like the channel. This is Off Script. I'm Zak Herbstreit. I'll see you around.